making noise. Maybe it's some elaborate form of street theatre. They've certainly drawn a crowd. This is a terrific one from the very end of Stephen King's Carrie. A lot of people who saw this commented on what an eerie walk this girl does. Well, to get this effect, they are actually just playing the film in reverse. So when it was recorded, she was walking backwards. What they forgot about was the traffic. If you watch again, you'll see a red VW Beetle that looks like it's reversing up the road.
Tommy and all the others gone. It's best we just go away for a while.
Then there's another car that appears to be reversing right across a junction. See it? That's a classic.
Hey, you guys.
This is Jaws, and special credit has to go to the film's incredibly talented shark trainer, Buddy McGee. Or Buddy No Arms McGee, as he's now called for some reason. Watch this poor guy. His right foot clearly has no shoe on. Yet when the shark, let's call him Jaws, takes a bite out of him, his right leg falls into the seabed. With a trainer on.
Your success on this project.
This is The Boys from Brazil, and proof that even the dead don't like dust in their eye. It stars Gregory Peck, Laurence Olivier, and in a moment you'll see young Steve Guttenberg doing his finest work outside of Police Academy 6. Watch as the freshly murdered Guttenberg slides down the wall, and then his eyes slightly give him away. Oh, he's not dead. He's only acting, the little winker. Whoops, Steve. The Oscar-winning Rocky, a silver screen classic written by Stallone, who cast himself as the heavyweight champion of the world.
I can't see nothing, gotta open my eye.
The film is to believability what Stallone is to clear enunciation. I sometimes think he's not even trying to suspend our disbelief. Watch this. When the cornerman goes to cut Rocky's eye, he's not even holding a knife. It's just a squirty tube of blood, right there in front of us. Oh, please.
You're bleeding.
Movie stars adore their food. There's nothing these Hollywood A-listers love more than wolfing down a posh three-course meal before excusing themselves from the table and spattering it all over the back of the restaurant's porcelain toilet bowl. That desperation to keep themselves thin might explain why they go to pieces whenever a scene asks them to interact with grub. Just look at these baffling attempts.
Great, thank you. Lovely place.
This is Kazakhstan's answer to Philip Schofield, a dashing TV presenter called Borat. The error here concerns the tray of food we're about to see. The old guy brings it up the stairs, and the blue cups are quite clearly on his left. There we are. I wonder what might happen. Oh, look, now they're on his right.
Okay.
Now his left again.
How are you?
Great.
You're getting settled in?
This is a specially sandwich.
And now they're on his right.
I,
Thank you.
not
It's
so
Naz.
He can,
No, it's not. It's deceitful.
Yes, yeah, fat.
Share and share alike.
The Sweeney was a 70s cop show in which civilians were routinely given a good slap. Sweeney Todd is completely different, but the boy here clearly needs a good wallop too for this glaring continuity error. One minute he's wolfed down half his pie. There.
My dear Albert.
The next, it's almost untouched.
Himself the bloatation he did.
What, is he spitting out mouthfuls of food and packing the mush back into the side of the pie?
Tell the truth.
Oh, he is? Oh, right. Well, in that case, do him no harm. Who likes watching films? Yeah! Who likes reading books? Boo! As we all know, reading books is rubbish. So 3 cheers for Peter Jackson, the director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He saved us all the bother by putting every last bit of the books into 3 butt-numbingly long films. He really didn't leave anything out. Needless to say, the movies, which back-to-back are almost 7 billion hours long, do contain the odd mistake. Here, big-eared idiots Merry and Pippin set off an enormous firework indoors. In the first film, Fellowship of the Ring. But setting off a firework indoors wasn't the biggest gaffe in this scene. Notice that the tent is full of bread rolls, candles, barrels, and all manner of things. But watch, when the firework launches, taking the tent with it, you can see all of the things inside the tent, with the exception of Merry and Pippin, have disappeared. See? Now that's magic. This is from the next film, The Two Towers, and more Hobbit horrors. Look at the Hobbit on Gandalf's lap. He's a fully grown adult who happens to be short. I believe they're called midgets. But keep your eyes peeled. Look, suddenly he's not a midget, it is a child. Your helmet doesn't fool me, short stuff.
For Frodo.
Same in this one. The hobbits charge at the enemy. It's always the little ones, isn't it? But watch them run. They're children, clear as day. Looks like they've spotted an ice cream van. Children are rubbish in battle. This could get messy. The Mummy films, starring Brendan Fraser, are about the lost civilization of ancient Egypt. Although they existed around 3,000 years BC, the Egyptians invented astronomy, were the fathers of modern medicine, and were able to design and build the pyramids. Fast forward 5,000 years, and we can't even make a 2-hour movie that isn't jam-packed with cock-ups. Here's Brendan in the third instalment, having a scrap with people made out of pottery. Weird. But not as weird as his magic gun. Watch how it changes from a machine gun to a pistol. There. Here's Dreamboat Brendan again in The Mummy Returns. And bear in mind that he's 6'4". Wait until he comes face to face with this child. Ah, terrifying. Look, that kid has to be 6 foot. I mean, he has to be.
Alex?
What were you thinking? Mummy had come back to life?
I'll tell you a story.
But when he stands up again, he's titchy, and there's nothing he could have been standing on. Yeah, what a boo-boo. The Mummy returns again, and proof that film stars use stuntmen and women for absolutely anything. They're about to get slightly wet, oh dear, and apparently that requires trained experts. Even though they look nothing like Brendan or Rachel. Big babies. Jonathan! Here's a tip for anyone who wants to get rid of soap suds. John Hannah will demonstrate. Here he is, covered in suds. Thanks, John. All you do is find a nearby window or pane of glass and hurl yourself through it, like so. Cheers, John. And bingo. No suds. That really is simple. Thanks again, John. Another clanger from The Mummy Returns. Here's the delectable Evie, and it seems I'm not the only one who enjoys peeping at her. There's someone else doing that in this scene. Eagle-eyed viewers, that is, people with good eyesight or actual eagles, might have spotted this. Did you see him? Rewind. Hoopla! Hands off, pervert, she's mine. This is a clip from the first film, The Mummy. As well as almost breaking her neck here, easy, girl. Evie drops the book on the floor. Whoops, butterfingers. But where's it gone? Yeah, probably rubbish anyway. Hollywood likes to think of itself as the dream factory, a place where they can make anything possible, a maverick home of rule breakers and fantasy makers who create pieces of work that will transport you away from reality. Tosh! Really, it's just a cover for their woeful misunderstanding of basic science. They're not coming up with imaginative, fantastical stories because they dare to dream. They're doing it because they're so cack-handedly thick they don't know any better. Allow us to demonstrate. Allow us. Allow this. Allow it!
This tune is number 8 on the charts.
Tango and Cash, Dempsey and Makepeace, DL and Pasco, Cagney and Lacey, Turner and Hooch, and Starsky and Hutch. Yes, we love detective shows with 2 surnames in the title. But you don't have to work in CID to have spotted the error in this movie. You see, when Starsky trips on the beach and his headphones fall off, the batteries pop out onto the sand. There. But when he puts them back on. The music's still playing. Stiller, you're a disgrace. When you first watch this clip from Harrison Ford in Presumed Innocent, you think they've made a mistake. Look, there's no tape in that tape recorder, and it's not even switched on.
I don't think anybody can say anything adequate at a time like this.
In fact, it's not a mistake. His wife just loves the smell of dictaphones. How thoughtful.
Suspect seen entering Hilton.
Here's one from The Fugitive. Tommy Lee Jones makes an absolute hash of pretending to drive.
Yeah, I know where he's going.
Turns the steering wheel one way, and the car goes the other.
Norman, come in. Where are you?
Oh, Tommy! This is Bruce Almighty, one of the worst sequels of all time. Look at the name of the cafe behind this tramp. It's clearly called Frankie's. But when the tramp morphs into Morgan Freeman, as they sometimes do, the shop is called, what? N-K-I-N-K-I, Nakinki's? What is that?
I want to pick a room.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Tim Burton loves a bit of fantasy, except what he calls fantasy, others call lies. Watch here. They should get thrown backwards, not forwards. Yeah, let's see that again. Get your actors to dress up in funny clothes and makeup by all means, Mr. Burton, but please don't tinker with the basic laws of inertia. A clip from feel-good movie Coyote Ugly, in which Light as We Know It is monkeyed around with.
Tell me what I have to do.
Of course, you and I think of light as just ungovernable photons of electromagnetic radiation. The makers of this film think they know better.
Disappear.
See what happens when this light's turned out. Room gets slightly darker, but when this tiny little candle is extinguished, the room is plunged into darkness. Let's see that again. Candle defeats light bulb, and movies defeat logic again. And finally, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, or TLTWATW as I like to call it. Here's Mr. Tumnus, famous for having hooves where his feet should be. But look, those hooves are leaving great big man-shaped footprints in the snow. Just look at them.
Well, here we are.
Tumnus's footprints are even more dodgy than him inviting the defenseless young girl into his home for dinner. Honestly, Mr. Tumnus.
Doctor Who, The Ultimate Guide up next. And then tonight at 10, we've got brand new